What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 with another Sunday afternoon chill build. So sometimes you're in the mood to just grind it out, and you want to play a little Dungeon Defenders, and you want to collect up some resources, but you don't really feel like working all that hard, and you just want to chillax. So today we are in the Chaos 10 Malachi Sewer, and we are going to do just that. So let's go ahead and start things off with some walls. We're going to be going heavy werewolves on this one. Using Accumulator, Hardened, and Defense Rate with Automation, Juggernaut, and Rebounding Strike. We're going to get these walls all pretty much real close to spawn camping. Not 100% right up in their face spawn camping, but pretty darn near it. Let's go ahead and go with, we'll use 2 walls here, since we got that wide lane. Giving all these walls reflect beams, of course. And then what? We'll head right over, say, down right about here. And we'll be able to get our reflect beam in. And then, last but not least, this top lane, we are going to just straight up spawn camp. It's a double lane. One goes this way, the other goes this way. We're going to keep all those guys just right there. Now, to do that, we're just going to throw 2 walls about like that. We're going to give them both a reflect beam. Now, I got to say right out front, I know some folks will ask, this build is 4-player viable. I've done it quite a few times in a 4-player group, and it definitely 100% works. And what are we going to do with our wolves? Well, we're going to send the wolves out into the forest. So here we come with the trees. Now, everybody knows about the kind of conventional tree build that's commonly used. You go with like defense range, hardened servo, and accumulator servo, and then you would use automation, juggernaut, and then thick vines. What we're going to do is we're going to go straight for the damage. So we're going to use anti-chaos, anti-melee, and then really any third mod. But I put melee boom on here mainly just to see if it would all work. Now, since we're not going to be using these as walls, one of the reasons I like to not use them as walls for Chaos 10 content is you just don't get a whole lot of damage value out of your accumulator. The walls just don't take a whole lot of damage. With that in mind, they don't send out a whole lot of damage because it's all about their damage taken. So we're going full on damage, anti-chaos, anti-melee, and melee boom. With that in mind, we don't even need automation in there. So we can throw something like defense crit strike or defense crit damage. Let's go with defense crit. I think defense crit strike is probably mathematically the one to use. Let's go with defense crit damage, though. Get that on there to try out something new. I haven't done it with defense crit damage yet. Now, we did roll range as the godly roll. The reason we did that is with deadly strikes, a range pylon, and diffusion, this allows us to get to the range cap on the trees. So we're going to start off right here, and let's just go with like 3 trees right here. Now, we want to stack as much crit damage on these as we can, so we're going to go ahead and give them a boost aura. We're going to give them a range pylon, and then we're going to give them diffusion on a buff beam with even some more crit damage. Over here on this lane, we're going to do about the same thing. We're just going to throw 3 trees in. Right, say, I guess we can just go like about like that. We'll go ahead and give them a boost aura, we'll give them a range pylon, and we'll give them diffusion. Of course, if you built this and you got your buffs on your wolves, that would make them do even better. And this side of the map is done. Actually, you know, we got a flyer lane here, so what we can do just to assist on the flyer lane is throw like a flame aura right there, something along those lines. Now we're going to come all the way over here, and we're going to deal with that top lane up there. So the top lane, of course, is it's going to be a big old mess up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the trees down below. That way we don't have to get in the mix and worry about that mess. We're going to throw it like right about like that. Going to give it all the bells and whistles as well. Let's go ahead and get an upgrade or a buff beam in here. Let's see, something like, say, like that. And then we got a ton of DU left over, so we might as well give this lane a little love as well. So let's go ahead and go, we'll go with our 3 trees. Do we have enough for all this stuff? I think we'll have enough for all this stuff. Let's give it that pylon, and then we're going to give it the buff beam. Now, the range pylon is not going to get the trees up to the cap until you get it fully upgraded. However, this is it, y'all. That's it. Trees for damage. You will have to kill siege rollers yourself. You will have to at least remove the bubble from Draken Lords. However, your walls are just not going to die. So, like, say you wanted to take the dog for a walk and a siege roller came. Well, I mean, eventually the siege roller would die, but what's going to happen is the siege roller is going to be just parked here spinning on your werewolf, and your werewolf is going to be healing through all of the siege roller damage without any issue. So let's just keep an eye on this lane so we can watch the numbers. This is not a Epeen in town build, y'all. You're not going to see no crazy big numbers. Once we get things fully upgraded, the largest number you'll see will be right around the 3 million mark. You will have some 3 million booms going off, though. But this is the Sunday afternoon chill build for me. So later on today, I'll be parked in this one with my alt, kind of chillaxing it out. I'm waiting for some family to get here for the holidays. And until they get there, this might be my new home. That little slimy ghost cat, of course, has just been eluding me for earth damage. I've gotten 5 of them now. Only one of them even has an element. So still looking for one with earth damage on it. But as we just watch the minimap, or we watch this lane because we can see the numbers real well, we can see it's just all going ham and getting the job done. We're down to, what, 2 enemies left? One of them appears that maybe a stuck flyer, and then there's somebody else beating on a wall over there. Let's just go over and see what it is. It was a chieftain. Oh, of course, it was a chieftain. Now, you know, the thick vines does work off of your base hero or defense health. It's not going to scale off of using any sort of juggernaut charge or something like that. But if you get some upgrades on your trees, not only do you give them a little bit more range, but you give them a little bit more damage. So why don't we do this? We'll throw 1 upgrade on all of these, and then we'll try to jack this lane up, just so you can see the power of the thick vines. So, what, we got enough for 1 more upgrade. Let's just go ahead and let it fly here. So we got 2 upgrades on these trees now. We should see a little bit better damage output. Looks like the crits are up to 2.4 million now. So getting a little bit more damage out of them. The melee boom does go off. You realistically could use anything in a 3rd slot. Crit damage might be the way. This build also it's not a meta build that you're going to want to, you know, have some must-have setup. This is more of a we're doing it because we can build. So if you've got the resources and you like doing meme builds, this could potentially be a build for you. Now, of course, if you were to set up DPS trees, I would probably suggest doing the conventional setup that's posted up everywhere, where you rely on having a big, healthy, thick tree that's going to be healing through damage with automation. But we see the trees are just getting it. They are getting it. Sometimes the chieftain take a little bit of time to get through because, of course, they do take that pause and heal themselves back up to full. So you have to burn through those twice. However, we are just able to just brutalize this particular map anyway. Obviously, it's not going to be ideal on every map, but a map like this with lots of twisty turnies it's just gonna shred. Let's go ahead and get these jacked up one more tier. We got them all almost all the way up, but let's let wave number 3 fly here. See, there's the 3. Was that a 3.2? 3.8 mil. See what kind of numbers we get here on this one. There's a 2. It looks like there's a 3.2. 3.261. Yeah, so we're up to 3 million crits now on the thick vines. So, I mean, they're not winning any DPS records, that's for sure, but they are clearing the lane. Now, in addition to that, the thick vines will blow enemies up inside of spawn, so if you can get them close enough to the spawn, which, like here, we are pretty close to that spawn, that upper lane over there, we're going to be hitting them in spawn as well. If you're in a situation like that where you can get the tree into spawn, it's going to do quite well. Now we got, we got a little siege roller action. I'll let the siege roller pump away on that werewolf for a moment or two, just so you can see what I was talking about. The werewolf will heal through it with automation. Werewolves are incredibly powerful walls. They're expensive, and you get what you pay for. There's just no doubt there. Are they there yet? It's still not there yet, huh? Siege roller is so slow. Oh, it's because of the frost strikes is giving that CC. We'll give it another moment here to make it over here. Of course, like I said, you will have to kill the siege rollers yourself or wait an eternity for them to die on their own. They will eventually die, but it's going to take a minute. It is going to take a minute, that is for sure. So we head on over here and check out our wolf. We see just nothing. Siege roller can't do anything to it, so it can sit there for an indefinite amount of time. It can actually, if you're not at your computer, it can kill the siege roller. But of course, we're going to speed things up by just going ahead and taking it out on our own. Let's see, we got one more wall to get, or one more tree, pardon me, to get fully upgraded here. And there we go. Let's just let it fly for wave number 4. And we got all of our trees fully jacked now. We're in pretty darn good shape. So let's see. Yeah, that 3.2 mil seems like the top that we're going to get to. However, we are able to just brutalize it. We had a cobalt dive bomb there. Looks like it didn't do anything too terrible to the old trees there. There's another one just dive bombed. Took a little damage there. I think they dive bombed into the wolves, and of course the wolves will be able to recover from it and heal themselves. Let's see, 3.2s, 2.4s, a bunch of little numbers, of course. And we got us another siege roller. Yeah, it looks like 3.2 is going to be the cap for me. Or no, there's a 4.6. Like 4.6 will be the sweet spot with a melee chaos enemy. Let's go ahead and just take this guy out so we don't have to wait around for it. And then one more. It's a chieftain again, huh? Yeah. And here we go into wave number 5 on Malachi Sewers here. I actually really love this map. With all these twists and turns on it, it adds, there's so many just fun builds you can do on it. And, you know, when it comes to grinding, especially for like the rare pet on this map, making it fun is a pretty good thing. So if you're able to diversify your builds and do just a bunch of crazy different builds on the map, to me personally, that's just good times, as you got things to test out, things to play around with, and you know, the fun is just only limited by your level of creativity when you're putting your builds together. You can put trees up in here too, right on the edges. You can put one here and one here, but it's very difficult to get them buffed then. If you put them up in there, they never take any damage, oddly enough. Yeah, just crazy. See, there was a cannon ogre. See how the cannon ogre fares. Actually, it looks like he's getting burned up pretty quick by those trees. The cannon ogre just about down. Oh, and there he goes. And it looks like, what, we had Griblock over here, I think? Looks like old Gribs died on his own. But there we go. There is the Sewer Wolves in the forest in Dungeon Defenders 2. So, as I mentioned before, this is not a guide or a how-to. Doing this just because we can do it. So if you've got some extra resources to spend, then setting up trees are quite fun. It's not going to be something the average player is going to want to do. It's more for just having a good time. But that will do it for now. Thanks an absolute ton for watching. And looks like no egg this time around. But I will see you all next time around. Take it easy.